Video, I'm going to be talking about removing social media apps off of my phone. In my last video, I talked about the importance of your purpose compass. So a little over a year and a half ago, I read Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's an amazing book that talks about, doing work that really is meaningful to us and how to go deeper into that work so that our creative flows are consistent and we give ourselves that time. And the book talked about many different things, and I highly recommend it. I put it in the description below if you want to check it out. In that book, I realized I want to do deep and meaningful work, things that truly mattered and that can outlive me. I felt like the urge to go into writing more, go into developing these videos, go into creating canvases, painting. There are things that I want to do while I'm here on earth, and I have to understand what is distracting me from doing those things. I also found that Instagram, Facebook, TikToks, and all those kinds of things, though they're great for getting my work out into the world and having people, appreciate it in certain ways, purchase things, all those good things. I also realized that it's a weird battle, right? Because when I go on there, sometimes I find myself comparing myself to others, other artists, other creatives. I find myself just not feeling very well, and I spend quite a bit of time on it, right? Sometimes you go in there to check something and you're there for 15, 20, 30 minutes or longer, right? And so that's all time that I'm putting into something where I'm just infinitely scrolling, which is a tactic they use to pull us into the apps so that we can use those products. Sort of tell you to get off of them or anything like that. What I did, I just completely deleted them off of my phone so that I don't have that urge to constantly check my phone, to constantly be on it. Now, I am on YouTube. I look at YouTube as a way to learn, right? So things that I want to learn about, I'll go look a YouTube video about that and kind of watch it and learn and observe, especially while I'm building a YouTube channel. The cool thing about YouTube as well is that it kind of rewards those creators, right? And I found that really powerful. The rewarding system for YouTube is that, one, these videos are evergreen, so people can find them years from now. Two is that, it's kind of a longer form, right? So it's not dependent on your 1 millisecond attention span on social media because you want to just get to the next person and get to the next person. It's like you're investing in subscribing, which, by the way, if you haven't, please comment, share, or subscribe to the boys channel. So when you invest your subscription, so you're signing up to see more of my videos, right? And that, I love that, because social media, I would sit there and craft things for hours sometimes that would get a split second of attention, right? For that and though the dopamine was great, however, I needed to detox from that. And I realized that I just, whatever I created a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, it is long buried in the algorithm, and it probably won't see the light of day again unless somebody finds you and sort of randomly scrolls through your page. And so I decided to kind of veer away from doing social media in that way and focusing on my deep work, because I realized also it's a distraction, and my phone kept pulling me away from the things that matter to me. And so I realized I wanted 3 to 4, 5 hours of deep focused work time. And if I had things pinging at me or needing sort of this constant feed of dopamine for liking my stuff or liking my work or liking my comments, this idea, this constant repetitiveness of going back and forth to that, oh man, it's hard, right? And especially with comparison is a thief of joy. And once I realized that, man, do I sit here sometimes and compare myself to others? Yes, I do, because I realize where they're at and where I'm at are totally different places. But it's our innate nature to compare ourselves. And sometimes you can sort of just avoid that by not being in those places where they are literally scientifically trying to get you to do that. And I realized that doesn't make me feel good. I also realized that the content that I would share about refugees, immigrants, the creative things I would share, they're not the most loved things. Let's be real. So the algorithm isn't going to take my content and share it to the universe and have me blow up my channel or my page, because I felt like there was like a resistance to what I wanted to share, how I wanted to say it. And I just couldn't deal with that anymore. And it kept getting frustrating and more frustrating. You know, I'd been on Instagram trying to build that page for over years, right? Like 4 or 5 years. And like, it just felt harder and harder every single day. So with that, what I did again is I just completely removed them off my phone, and I would go in and check in, you know, on my computer every now and then. But now I don't have this like urge to constantly check my phone. I don't have that like, oh, who liked what, who commented on my thing. And like, you know, there's just something about that. I feel like I reclaimed sort of my control. And now I can spend that time creating these videos that are going to live on a channel that other people, when they find it, they might get something out of it. That's something helpful for them. And so, you know, maybe take a day off social media, or 2 days, or a week. So I challenge you, you know, for me, it was just like 1 day at a time. Then it was like a month. Then it was like, now, you know, I kind of stopped back in October of 2021. So now, you know, it's been a good 6 months or so that I'm really off of it. And, you know, I'll be honest, like the first month or two, like still felt weird. I still felt like I was missing out on something, but the reality is I wasn't. And there is a handful of people that reached out to me and was checking in and were like, hey, you know, you're not on Instagram, you're not on, what's going on? Everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything's good. You know, like it's fine. And so now I'm actually, you know, I text and I call people. I'm very intentional about the people I want to reach out to and get criticism from about the work that I'm doing. And so, and I love that, because then it's, you know, it's for me and I'm in control. And I think the most beautiful thing that I always try to remember is that it's not that we shouldn't own things. It's that things shouldn't own us. And it's by Imam Ali. And I love that quote so much, because it just reminds me that if they own us, they own our time, they distract us, they pull us away from what's important. The idea of it is, you know, can you remove yourself from these things that distract you? And can you go into your work feeling a sense of depth, a sense of, you know, he talks about this shallow and depthness of your work. Like you don't want to do shallow work, or if you do, it's like do it for a little bit and then go into the deep work. And so for me, like writing my next book, developing these videos, editing them, spending time with my family and friends, like for me, that's deep stuff. That's deep work. And I want to be there. I want to be present. I want to be in that moment. And so I hope it helps you understand that, you know, you can get away from these things and you can check them in other ways and avoid the comparison trap, because I promise you it will steal your joy and you don't want to do that. Again, I'm Hussein Al-Bayati. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, share it with someone, like, comment below, tell me what's worked for you in the ideas of deep work. Or if you have a book that you want to recommend to me, please share it in the comments below. I'd love to check it out. Again, you guys take care. I hope this video was helpful. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.